The danger if they will receive it with mortal sin, Father.
Well, I can't help but think about Judas in the Gospel of John. When he took the morsel, Satan entered him instead. Right? So you think of giving demons permission to afflict us, then sacrilegious Holy Communion is going to be a big permission.
We can now talk about Eucharist, Father. So why Eucharistic reverence are so rare today, even among practicing Catholics?
Eucharistic reverence. Some people, they grow up not being taught that the Eucharist is Jesus Christ. They might have gone to church for years without hearing it in the homily. And so they think that, it's just a symbol of God's love for us. Part of it can be the way that it's distributed during the Mass. If there's no sense of the sacred communicated in it, altar rails can help with having that sense of the sacred, right? It's very different when we're receiving the Eucharist on our knees, on our tongue, like daddy feeding us, right? Yes. Think of the birds being fed by the mama bird, right?
Many priests are irritable with that. No.
Yes, some will get upset when people will kneel down to receive the Eucharist. But if it's God, if we believe it's God, then why not? Right? Yeah. It's God. So all the reverence you can, whether you have to receive it standing because you can't kneel, or whether there's an altar rail or not. Yes, still we want to communicate with the greatest reverence possible.
What's the danger if they will receive it with mortal sin, Father?
Well, I can't help but think about Judas in the Gospel of John. When he took the morsel, Satan entered him instead. Right. So you think of giving demons permission to afflict us, then sacrilegious Holy Communion is going to be a big permission. Especially, the thought of there's some serious sin we have, and where maybe we're struggling with it on a regular basis, but we go receive communion out of embarrassment, like, what are people going to think? Then the demons are like, open season, right? This person's going to receive God in the Eucharist unworthily. Like, it's open season on them. You're totally giving the devil permission to afflict you all the more. Right? Now, some people will say, but I feel like I need to be close to Jesus in the host. Like, okay, well, get to confession as soon as you can, right? So that you can go and receive him worthily. If you're not able to do that, or you tried to make it to confession, you weren't able to get to it, then that act of spiritual communion can help with that longing to receive him and prepare you for that good confession to receive him sooner.
So how should Catholics prepare spiritually for confession?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is meditating on the passion of Jesus, putting ourselves at the foot of the cross and recognizing that those wounds, that part of it, the pain, was caused by our sins, right? Not just, Jesus died for all the sins of the world in general. No. I remember one book helping me get a sense of this, 7 Secrets of Confession, with the idea that what he did then affects us now, right? He won salvation. It's applied to us now in the sacraments, but the other way around, that what we do now affects him then, right? Because he's eternal, right? His life on earth, it touches all times and places, and as dying for our sins, then the sins we commit right now in some very real way, right? I scourged Jesus by my sin. In some real way, I crowned him with thorns. I drove in those nails. Right? So we can meditate on the Passion, get a good examination of conscience to help us remember our sins if we want to write them down. So we take the list in there with us to the confession so we don't forget them. That's a very good thing. I heard of priests, it's like they don't want them to come in with a list. So I'm like, well, what if they're going to forget, right? This is helpful. It's okay. Take the list in there and confess the sins, and then you can rip it up afterwards.
But in cell phone?
Not in the cell phone. I don't encourage that at all. No, because pretty much any cell phone is going to be, any device like that's going to be a microphone. In some way, it can be, the phone's always listening.
Yes.
Right. Even when it's off. Right, the phone's always listening. You're talking about something, you'll start getting ads for it, right, later, because the phone was listening. So don't use your phone as the list. Right? If you're looking at examination of conscience on the phone, okay, write down the different sins somewhere else. Take in just the paper with you instead of the phone. Like when I hear confessions, I take the phone out of the room, and so that nothing can be heard, because that confessional seal is so important.
Yeah.
right?
Even those who will confess, Father.
Even those who will confess to not bring their phone in, I would tell them, don't try not to bring your phone, and you hand it to a family member, put it somewhere else. For during the confession.
Yeah, I saw one article talking about that. They're trying to consider it not to bring the phone inside the confessional.
Well, hopefully so. Yeah, hopefully the message gets out there, because people do it without thinking about it, right? They just they always carry their phone, right?
Yeah,
and they use it for everything. So why not use it just for my list here in confession? I mean, so if I see a phone in there, I don't necessarily tell them, "Oh, get out," right? No, but I'll say like, in the future, it'd probably be good to write that list down instead. And when I mention that, the phone, it's like a microphone; it's always listening. It makes sense to them. Like, oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I think if I remember,